Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome to the preview of Middlesbrough versus Preston North End that takes place at 3 o'clock this Saturday down at the Fortress, that being the stadium behind me, the Riverside Stadium. Really excited to get back in the stadium. Obviously we were only there the other night for the Scunthorpe United home game in the Cup, to which we won. Brilliant win. You know, we're going to the next round now, which has been confirmed earlier this morning, which was Aston Villa away. Hoping to hopefully get there. If not, if I can't get to that one, I will try my hardest to get to Fulham away, which is a Saturday after we play Fulham. After we play Aston Villa, we then play Fulham on the Saturday away. I'm going to try my hardest to try and get to that one, and then we play Aston Villa away on the Tuesday after Fulham. So if I don't get to the cup game, I can always go the week later to try and get to the league game. But if I go to some games, you guys will know, because you will see me on the Borough Fan TV channel, get my interview. If you're not subscribed, go subscribe to them. And if you've just headed over here and you want to know what this channel's all about, this is basically my footballing channel, pretty much. I do my chat show on a Monday. I do previews, reviews, score predictions, you name it, it's on this channel. Hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on. There's a little bell, and it will notify you whenever a video goes up by myself, A.J.T. Obviously, people want to see more of the teams that I'm talking about. I've had a lot of requests by people saying, instead of just naming little bits about the team, can you try and name a bit more about them? You know, the background, bit of history. So I've done it, and I've got a 2-page, literally, of notes that are just about Preston North End. I've got a very interesting sort of fact about Preston before they were even a football team, about how that all came about. And then I've got some facts about a local lad, should I say, born in Hemlington. You guys might know who it is already. We'll find out who it is later on in the video. The fact that I've got in front of me right now, I had to do a bit of research behind this, because this took me by surprise. I didn't notice how Preston North End, if you like, come about. Preston North End were not founded as a football team. They were founded as a cricket team back in 1863. Now, how many of you guys honestly knew that? Because I didn't know that. I thought Preston North End were just founded in 1863 as a football team. I had no idea that they were founded a cricket team. And then it says, although it would take 15 years after the formation of the club into original form before they played their first football match. 15 years before they even played a football match. And that's when Preston North End, obviously the team that we know them as they are now. I thought it was a crazy stat, to be honest. A crazy fact that, you know, 15 years after the formation of the club to even play a football game. So if it wasn't for that sort of formation, Preston could have just stayed a cricket team, if you like, and maybe never ever competed in the game of football. Well, should we say the beautiful game as we know it. I found that proper interesting. It really took me by surprise. I didn't know that about Preston. And it's always interesting when you read stats on facts and stuff like that on other teams and stuff that you didn't know. And it just shows you how great some of the clubs are that play football these days. I mean, Middlesbrough have got a story now, Preston have got a story. I'm sure lots of teams have got very interesting stories to how their football teams came around, and why these teams have got such a legacy behind them. And this is why we support the teams that we do. You know, this is why we're so passionate on the teams that we support. I apologise for this noise. It's literally the paper I've got in front of me. There's no way I can remember all this in my brain. So much in front of me that we're going to try and get through. We'll talk Preston, we'll talk Borough, we'll talk my starting 11 also. And yeah, so let's just crack on with what I've got in front of me. Apologise to keep looking down. I mean, I could sit like this and sort of hold it here if you wanted me to, if that's any easier for you guys. So the stadium is called Deepdale. I have been there once myself. I went with my brother, I went with my dad. I'm talking years ago now. It was pretty cool actually, because I went to Watford on the Saturday, which we got absolutely hammered. We were 3-0 down the first half. Chris Boyd, of all names, managed to get one back in the second half, to which we lost the game 3-1. We then went over to Deepdale, being Preston North End on a Tuesday night. We were 1-0 down early on, and I remember looking to my dad and thinking, don't let this be a repeat of what happened on Saturday. It wasn't. Leroy Lita, the man that I used to love Leroy Lita. I don't know how many of you guys remember Leroy Lita, but I love Leroy Lita. Anyway, he went on to score 2, and David Wheater got 1, and then we managed to beat Preston 3-1. Yeah, honestly, it was a great night. I still remember the game pretty clearly. I remember David Wheater running over to whereabouts I was and everyone hugging him. It was a great night, actually. It was a great result, and yeah, obviously, yeah, it was just a great night, great atmosphere. I remember we sold out the whole of the away end as well. I'm pretty sure we sold out the whole of the away end. For it was a Tuesday night game as well. I mean, it was a great following from Borough fans as always. But yeah, it was great to be a part of that victory that night. The manager of Preston North End is Alex Neil. Now we know Alex Neil pretty well to us Middlesbrough fans from his days at Norwich. Obviously, he led their team to the playoff final victory against us. You know, which obviously we lost 2-0. So yeah, I mean, will he want to try and get another win past us? Probably he will. Probably want to try and get a win in the league. I mean, obviously when he was in charge of Norwich, you know, he never achieved a win past Middlesbrough in the league. He only got it in the playoff final. So I'm sure he's going to want to try and, you know, he's going to want to try and bring his Preston team here to obviously beat us and try and get, you know, just try and rub salt in the wounds if you like after that. Obviously after the last time we met Alex Neil, was obviously when he was obviously in the playoff final. But in the league, we managed to beat them 1-0 at Carroll Road with, I think it was Albert Adoma goal. And obviously we did them 4-0 at the Riverside, which I was actually there for. Yeah, and I remember Ledbetter scoring a header right next to me whereabouts I was in the north stand. And I think Bamford got the opener, or it could have been Vossen. Don't remember all the goal scorers that night, but I remember we did them twice in the league. And obviously they did us in the cup, or should I say in the cup final. And I remember I was there, and I'll never forget the feeling. If any of you guys have never been to Wembley, if none of you guys don't support Middlesbrough out there, if you've got a different team, and you go, honestly, when you go to Wembley, if your team loses at Wembley, I'm not joking, it is probably the worst feeling you will ever feel in your life. Like, I know your team can get knocked out of a cup pretty early on, and that feeling's not nice, but when you go to Wembley, you know, and for us Borough fans, travelled maybe 4, 5, 6 hours to get there. Some of us, especially my friend, he did the journey there, did the journey back in one day. I remember him telling me just how brutal it was. Obviously I stayed in London after the game, hoping that Borough would win, so I could enjoy my journey around the pubs. The truth is, I never went in a single pub after that game, as every pub I went past, I got laughed at for wearing my Borough shirt. So yeah, hopefully that never happens again if I ever go to Wembley. Hopefully I can go out in London and actually enjoy the nightlife without getting laughed at. So yeah, I mean, that's what happened. That's how we know Alex Neil from the Norwich days. Now, if you talk about Preston's form, they're actually doing pretty well in the league, to be fair. They sit 7th in the table on 7 points. So they've pretty much kickstarted the league pretty well, having won 2, drawn 1 and lost 1. And obviously I've got here that they won both games at home. So I mean, their away form, they haven't won the game away from home yet, which obviously stands to Borough fans as a great thing. That's a really big positive. It's a negative for them. Positive for us is that their away form isn't great. Our away form isn't great, but we're not away, we're at home. Big positive right there that they have not won away yet this season. At home, they beat the Reading, they beat Sheffield Wednesday on the opening day, and they drew against Leeds away from home, and they lost to Derby 1-0 away. And that's fantastic for us. The fact that they haven't won away yet is absolutely outstanding. So, you know, let's take full advantage of that. And the only way we can take full advantage of that is to start quick, not start slow. I'm praying Monk is seeing that when we start slow, we're so sloppy, we're so poor. Even though we got the victory on Tuesday night, we still started slow. Nottingham Forest, we started slow and we lost. I'm hoping that, you know, watching the tape backs and whatnot, hopefully the boys have strengthened up and hopefully they can see themselves that if we start slow, you know, it's not always going to end pretty for us, which it didn't in Nottingham Forest. Hopefully the boys can come straight out of the blocks and attack the team and win. I mean, we saw obviously last night, and it's fantastic. Newcastle knocked out by Nottingham Forest. Just a little bonus there for our. Obviously, I know my dad had a bet actually on Nottingham Forest. I told him to back Nottingham Forest. I had a feeling Nottingham Forest would win. They did. They did the North East proud, if you like. Newcastle, I mean, they took the lead as well. And then they were saying, "Oh, don't worry, because it's nothing cup. Listen, your Evolution, it's going so well for you this season. It really is." And Mike Ashley, he's doing a great job with them signings. So pleased for him to be there, because listen, you've lost 3 games out of 3, and now you've been knocked out the cup by a championship team. And I mean, apparently this league's a pot league and all this. But listen, lads, you can't beat a team out of this division. So I mean, it says a lot for Newcastle. It says a lot for your team. And you may say you made changes, but Nottingham Forest made 6 changes. So lads, you don't have a leg to stand on. You're probably going to come down. up the borough. The lad I wanted to talk about was actually Jordan Hugh Gill. Now, many of you, obviously, if you're watching this video, you're a Middlesbrough fan, if you know him or whatever, Jordan Hugh Gill was born in Hemlington, so he's a local lad, and he's doing pretty well for himself now. He's at a decent club level. He's playing decent football every week. But it wasn't all, it wasn't all rainbows for this lad. Starting his career, he did picked up a lot of injuries, and he has done throughout his career. But he's bounced back from these injuries, and he's scoring goals. Obviously at club level for Preston North End. So, obviously he's born in Hemlington. He's only 24 years of age, so he's still very, very young in his footballing career. He also worked in the Dickens Inn back in 2012. I remember hearing when I started working retail in 2012, and Jordan Hugh Gill was a big name, obviously because I work with a lot of young lads, and they were saying, Jordan Hugh Gill plays for so-and-so, but he works in the town. And remember, he was a pretty popular person when he lived around here, and I never knew who he was, to be honest. I remember he came here with Preston in the Cup, I believe it was. I believe we beat them 3-1, and I believe he scored the goal. He scored the goal for Preston. I remember seeing the celebration. He went absolutely ballistic on the pitch and ran right over to the Preston fans. I'm sure it was Jordan Hugh Gill that did it. I'm sure he came here and scored, and that's when his name sort of blew up, especially where I work, and people were saying, this kid's gonna be he's gonna be a star sort of thing. And he's certainly showing that he's scoring goals week in, week out, and he's played for a lot of North East teams. He's bounced around a lot of clubs, unfortunately, due to his injuries and whatnot. But now he's getting his recognition. Now he's playing at a good club level. He's playing for a team that have a lot of history behind them, being Preston North End. And I've got to say, I'm pleased for him. To make a break, especially from Teesside. Kind of gets overlooked. And when people come out of Teesside and you see them doing well for themselves, you've only got to give the lad a pat on the back. I mean, he's done fantastic. I mean, the majority of Teesside, especially with the steelworks and all that, we don't really have the best of luck. But when you see a lad like Jordan Hugh Gill, especially when he's playing football, he dedicated himself to football, but he had to work in a bar in Middlesbrough. But now he's getting his recognition. He's playing week in, week out. Honestly, it's a fantastic thing to see. And I wish Jordan Hugh Gill the best for his career, being so young, having to deal with the injuries he's had, but he's proved all the critics wrong. He's bounced back from each injury. He's had great spells at the club he's at. He's having a great spell at Preston at the minute. So I can only wish Jordan Hugh Gill the best for the future. And hopefully he has a good game this Saturday. Hopefully he doesn't score. If he scores, hopefully we win. But yeah, I mean, Jordan Hugh Gill, if you ever get to see this video, honestly, man, give yourself a pat on the back because you've done yourself proud. If you get from being where you came from, injuries, etc., to being where you are now, club level, it's fantastic to see. He's also got a list of honours, and when I was reading the honours, again, it was really, really interesting to see. I'll read some of the honours out to you now. One of the big achievements was A.J.T that he's got. He's part of the team that crowned League One playoff winners back in 2015. That's obviously when Middlesbrough got to the playoff final as well. And there's many others, including the Port Vale Young Player of the Year. That was with Mask United. The North Riding Senior Cup runner-up in 2013 with Port Vale. Staffordshire Senior Cup runner-up in 2014 with Preston North End. He's also played for a lot of clubs, and I mean a lot of teams. But a lot of North East teams, he's learnt his trade around here. He played for CM Red Star. He's played for Concert. And I don't know how to pronounce the second one. Is it Jerry's Industrial? He's played for Whitby Town, Mask United, Port Vale, Gateshead, Hartlepool, Tranmere Rovers, and now he obviously plays for his club of Preston North End. I mean, the lad he also went to Glen Hoddle's Academy as well in Spain, and did 2 years over there. So, I mean, the lad has done well for himself. He really has. And at the minute, he's top scorer for Preston North End this season. He's got 1 in the league. He's got 2 in a cup game against Accrington Stanley. And obviously, Accrington Stanley went on to win that game 3-2. But he actually got the 2 goals from in that game. I mean, it's great to see. Great to see Jordan Hugh Gill doing so well, considering where he came from, just a young lad in Teesside to where he is now. It's fantastic to see. So again, congratulations to Jordan Hugh Gill for getting to where he is now. It's fantastic to see. It really, really is. Local lad playing. I mean, doing something he loves and succeeding at as well after all the setbacks he had. Fantastic to see. Also, Johnson, I believe, is the midfielder. He's got 1 goal this season, just in the league. So I mean, the obvious threat being Jordan Hugh Gill. He's obviously the threat this Saturday. We've got to watch out for him. I mean, he's banging him in for the league. He's banged him in previous leagues for other teams. 2 in the cup. It looks like the lad is honestly playing with confidence. When I was reading about him, You know, the fans rave on this lad. I mean, he even gets brought on as subs. Johnson got his goal because Hugh Gill got took down the box. You know, he's obviously creating chances for Preston, but he's also creating problems for the opposition. Obviously by getting penalties, etc. We've got to watch out for him. He's obviously a bit of a live wire when he's on the pitch. He obviously can cause you threats and running behind you and stuff. So you know, we've got to watch out for him and make sure that we're on him pretty much 24/7. Make sure we're on him all game. Don't let him get a sniff this weekend. So as I said, you know, Preston sitting 7th, doing pretty well. So yeah, I mean, I pretty much covered the whole of Preston as much as I could there. I hope you guys have, you know, or took something away from all them facts and everything else. I mean, it's great to see young lad, like I've said, doing so well for Preston. But let's talk Middlesbrough now. Obviously, we got our win Tuesday night, beating Scunthorpe 3-0. You know, it wasn't the greatest of games, but listen, we got the win. Again with the slow starts this weekend. You know, with a team like Preston, they're gonna want to try and push up this late table. I mean, the 7th in the league. I mean, they had a fantastic start to the season, as too of Middlesbrough. Obviously, we had 2 defeats. Maybe defensive mistakes to why we've had both them defeats. But listen, I mean, we had the chances at Nottingham Forest, we didn't take them, and we had to pay for that. I don't want to see a repeat of that this season. I want to be able to come out of games and say, you know, we took our chances. We come away with the 3 points because we took our chances, and not come out of games as we came out of the game, we lost it because we didn't take our chances. Them defeats are always the hardest ones to take. I mean, if you play, fair enough, if Middlesbrough play and they get beat, but they give us 110%, and then play that genuinely knackered to the point where they can't stand up after that game, but they still get beat, I can't grumble at the Borough players. I can be proud of them and say, you know, they gave it everything. If they come off that pitch and you know they're not really bothered to sort of give us kind of watch the halfway line, clap us and walk off the field, then it becomes a bit of a problem. So far this season, the boys have given us effort in every game, and it can only, for me, you know, we can only put our mistakes, you know, and make them, you know, put them into positives. Tuesday night, the only negative comment I made, and I made it on my interview on Borough Fan TV, I also said it on here, was just the slow starts. Once the slow starts stop, and we straight from the off, we come straight at the blocks and we just attack the team we're playing, I have no doubt that we will, teams will be in fear of playing us because I believe we can put games to bed early if you take our chances, start quick and put the ball in the back of the net. We can kill teams off in the first half if we start doing things like that. £43 million is a lot of money to spend in the summer. And you know, so far, you know, in 2 defeats, you know, teams are laughing at us a bit in a way. But trust me, come May, we will be laughing at teams especially when we win this championship. I have no doubt in my mind that we have the team, you know, to go forward. We have the team to win this league. Now, don't get me wrong, when we go to the Premier League, we have to make sure that we are fully prepared. Because, say, you know, especially, I'm going off my words now. You guys might have a different opinion, but I'm saying for when we do win the league, you know, if it comes to a point where we do win the league, and I am right, if we go up automatically, the changes will have to be made, obviously. You know, you've seen what happened last season. We thought we were ready for the Premier League. We weren't, and now we're hearing things of, you know, the English lads weren't gelling with the other lads. That's, you know, who knows what the truth is in all this. I mean, we heard that Gaston got knocked out by a Borough player last season. I mean, we don't know all the truth. But let's make sure that if we go up, we go up with the right mentality. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves also. Let's take every game as it comes now. You know, we look at Preston this weekend. I've just spoke about Preston. They've started the season really well. You know, we sit 2 places behind them. We are 9th at the minute. You know, everyone's going to suffer defeats. Newcastle suffered 2 defeats and they went up as champions. No comparison to Newcastle because Newcastle are not even on Middlesbrough's level. But what I'm saying is, you know, these 2 defeats, fair play. You know, we took defeats. Let's just have more wins than what we do defeats. Let's go up. I mean, the money we've spent, it's obvious that Mr. Gibson, Steve Gibson, the best chairman in England for me, is obviously wanting to smash this league, as he said on the radio. The only way we do that is by playing in a positive way. The fans getting behind the boys. We have to go up, as simple as that. We cannot spend all this money in the summer and not go up. I mean, what a way to turn out to Mr. Gibson, you know, and say, you know, 43 million, but, you know, the team didn't go up. This team was good enough to win this division. Wolves fans are raving because apparently they've got the greatest team in the league. Listen, if they get an injury, they could be knackered. We've got an injury and we're still winning games. That's the difference. Teams start early in this division and have come out with the fact like to Cardiff, Wolves, like to Preston, if you like. These sort of teams get injuries, they're going to fall away. We've got an injury. We're losing one of our main ingredients in our team. That's Martin Braithwaite. Now, when he's back, our team will be fire, no doubt. We will be hitting teams hard. But right now, we're coping with it. You know, we've got backup. We've got the likes of Stuart Downing, who we've seen coming on Tuesday. Have these players got the backup? Can these teams, when they start getting injuries, will they still be able to play with the same mentality and everything else as they're doing now? Maybe not. You know, we talked this Saturday. It's going to be a tough game. It's not going to be the easiest game of football because no team in this division, as we know, from the last time we were in it, it's easy. I mean, we've played a lot of games before we went up to the Premier League, and we went into games expecting wins, and we got defeats. The likes of Blackburn away, it's 2-1 defeat. Rotherham away, we got beat 1-0, but we dominated that game. You know, there's a few things that this Saturday I want to see. I want to see the 3 points. I want to see a good win. And even if it's a 1-0 win, as long as it's a good win, keep hold of that Jordan Hugh Gill. Do not let him get passed on goal because we know for a fact he can put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, all you got to do is research the lad and you'll see how good that lad is at a club level, especially at senior club level. Preston North End have obviously kept hold of him for a reason. He signed a contract with them not so long ago because he's that good of a player. We have good players. Son Belonga, let's hope he's on fire this weekend. I mean, I know he had 3 1-on-1s against Forest and he didn't score any of them. Now, could that have been because the occasion got to him? No, you know, there's no sort of things that are going to let him down this weekend. You know, he's not playing his former team. He's playing a fresh team this season. He should be able to put them in no problem, given the chance. I don't really want to see none of the long ball this weekend. You know, get the ball on the floor, play the game right. You know, pass and move. You know, look out for each other. Get the ball down the pitch, put the ball in the back of the net. Send Butter fans home happy. But you have to be beating teams like Preston. No disrespect to Preston. We have to be beating teams like Preston. We have to be beating teams around us. Simple as that. We have to be. You know, we can't afford a defeat this weekend. And people may say, yeah, but it's still early. Yeah, but look at the games we've got coming up. You know, you've got Villa away, for instance. You've got Fulham away. You know, you've got Leeds coming up. Obviously in November. You've got Sunderland coming up in November. Big games, and these games are going to come to us very, very soon. We can't say it's early days. We're coming towards the end of August now. It's the 24th of August now. As soon as that window shuts, you know, we're playing with the teams we've got. We've got to make sure that by the time this window shuts, we've got enough points on the board to prove to other teams why our team is so valuable and why it is so important. You know, make a mark. Let's make a mark against Preston. Let's take Preston 3-0. I want to take a 3-0. My prediction is 3-0. You know, let's play with real intent and show a team that, look, even though we've got players injured and players suspended, we've still got the team to win this league. I want to see us go up this season, of course. But we have to take every game as it comes. This weekend, 3-0 from me. Nothing more than a win this weekend. I don't even want a draw. I do not want a loss. I want to be able to do my reviews and be happy this season. And obviously, I will be getting my interview on Saturday with the Brother Fan TV. Lads, if you guys are not subscribed to them, go and subscribe to them. I have got my starting 11 here. I will show you my start. Well, obviously, I'll read out my starting 11. You guys let me know your starting 11 as well. I don't mean for me to ramble on. I just get really into these previews, and I really want to see a win this weekend. You know, it's positive on Tuesday night. Let's keep that positivity. You know, let's keep the confidence in the dressing room. Let's keep the good morale, and let's just go and hammer Preston. So this is my team now. I've changed it up a lot. You guys may not agree with this, but this is my team. You guys let me know your team in the comments. In goal, Darren Randolph. He should not be replaced. I mean, Dimmy, don't get me wrong, he had a good game Tuesday. Didn't have a lot to do. If he comes back in, I'm going to be happy. But for me, at the minute, Randolph goes in goal. The back four changes. Taking one player out. I've gone Christie, Fry, Gibson. I mean, the obvious one that I'm taking out is George Friend. Purely because I thought Fabio had a great game Tuesday night. Got himself a goal. Put himself about. He caused problems down the wing. So why not give him a chance? And then again, it changed in my midfield a lot. I've gone for Adam Clayton to sit in front of the centre-backs, including Grant Ledbetter. Grant Ledbetter for me was absolutely fantastic on Tuesday night. if you were there Tuesday night, you would see how great that lad played. He was unbelievable. And the balls he was pinging about, and it just looked so easy for him. I want to see him play. Johnny Howson, for me, I've not really, for me personally, I'm not really seeing a lot of him. 5 million, but I'm not really seeing what he's bringing to the team. Whereas Ledbetter, for me, he just ping a ball to anyone, put it straight in the end of your toe. He dominates the midfield game when he plays. He absolutely dominates it in that championship. He's a great leader. He's a great captain, and yeah, I want to see Ledbetter in. I want to see Ledbetter in this Saturday, along with Baker. Forshaw, I love Forshaw a bit, but he goes back too much. He goes sideways too much. Baker goes forward. Ledbetter got forward with Baker on Tuesday night, and we were a different class. Obviously, we were a different class regardless to Scunthorpe. But these two lads for me stood out. Perfect individuals for this game. Midfield battle. These two are going to win it. These two are going to create chances for the strikers. Baker's going to get forward. He's going to play the ball to the strikers. He comes from an attacking team. He comes from Chelsea. He comes from an attacking team. He knows how to attack teams. He knows how to win games. Put him in. Let's see how he gets on. And my front three. Patrick Bamford, Hassan Bolonga. And I'm going to say it, Stuart Downing. Why not put Downing in? The lad got booed Tuesday night. I have no idea why. Now, last season, don't get me wrong, I said don't put him in the team and whatnot. But if you're going to put him in his right position, which is left mid to left wing, play him. Play the lad. He wants to play. Put him in. For me, that's my starting 11. Them lads on that pitch, I feel like they can do a job. Why not mix it up a little bit? It's right not to change a winning team. But the lads that played on Tuesday night proved to me to why they should be in this team. For Johnny Howson, for me, he's not doing enough, and you might say it's down to gelling. But you know, we're into this season now. We've had quite a few games in this season. For me, doesn't create enough for me. Adam Forshaw, I love Adam Forshaw to bits. Don't get me wrong, but Baker proved again. You know, he got his goal. He's putting himself about well. He's a real threat. These players are proving to why they want to play this season. Fabio got his goal. How the hell did he get a goal as a left back? But because he put himself in them positions, and he was terrific all game. He's pushing out wide, he's running down the wing, he's coming back. He got his goal. He's creating chances. I mean, the guy even had a shot. He even took it from left back and had a shot. Give these guys the opportunity this Saturday. Let them show us and the manager just what they can do. I want to see 3 points this Saturday. You guys let me know what is exactly what you think of this preview. Let me know your lineup. Let me know your prediction. I'm going 3-0. Yeah, 3-0. Hassan Bolonga hat-trick. There you go. And you guys make sure to check out Butterfan TV after the game, as I will be talking straight after the match on there, giving my thoughts on the action. Hopefully I'll be celebrating yet another win, especially in my review of all you Butter fans. Hopefully we'll all be celebrating come Saturday night, and obviously the boxing. Let me know who you think will win that. For me, McGregor all the way, man. McGregor's all the way. He's at the end of the day, he's Irish. He's not too far from us. You know, Great Britain stand-up sort of thing. America's miles away. Mayweather, you're gonna get knocked out, man. I'm telling you now. Under 6 rounds, you're gonna be laid on the floor. You're 49-1. You guys let me know all your predictions for the weekend. I can't wait for Saturday. I'm buzzing. Hopefully meet some of you guys in the South Stand before the game starts. Remember, if you see me, come and see me. And like I said, we'll have a chat before the match starts. Buzzing for this one. Come on, that Butter. 3 points this Saturday. Nothing less. 3-0. Some belong hat trick. Bring on Saturday. Up the Butter.